everybody. Welcome back to Bookish and Bearded. Look, today I wanted to get you out of a reading slump. I've been seeing lots of posts and videos and hearing from some of you that you're in a slump and you're having a hard time finding what to read. So I thought this would be a fun video to do. If you like it, make sure you like the video. We'll go ahead and get into it. So before I start going over books, I wanted to go over a little bit why I chose some of these books. For me to get out of a slump, typically I want something fast-paced, a short read, preferably a standalone, although you'll see some of these are a series. And then something that is different than my norm helps me a lot. So if I typically read fantasy, it's a nice little break to go with sci-fi or romance or rom-com. If I typically or just finish like a huge 5-6 book series, a little short novella or something really fast and easy is what helps me get out of a slump. I know there's something for everybody. Some people, an audiobook is a nice break from an actual physical book. But yeah, that's kind of what I like to go with. The first book I was going to go over is Love and Other Conspiracies by Mallory Marlowe. I chose this one because this one, to me, it's not super fast-paced, but it's well-paced. And it is a rom-com. It does have a little bit of spice in it, nothing crazy. But if you need something like well-paced, funny, good romance, and the main thing for me that made this book go fast is the banter. If you like really good back and forth between the male and female characters in a book, this has it. It's super fun. Basically, this guy is a conspiracy theorist, like a huge one. He's into everything from like Mothman to Bigfoot to aliens to flat earth, everything. And basically, she is not. But she does a TV show, needs a new show, otherwise, her job is on the line. He has a web series. One night, she's sitting there watching, sees his web series, and thinks that it would make an awesome TV show. He's down because he knows she's not into conspiracies once they talk, and he thinks it would be super fun to take her to all these like haunted places or Bigfoot searching, and they just sit there and like she mocks him while he tries to disprove her disbelief. And funny enough, one of the cute quotes on the back is like, neither one of them believe in love, and they go searching for things that don't exist and find something that they didn't know they were looking for. And it's super adorable, very fun read, and very like, if you're looking for something with really good banter, this is a very good book for that. The next book is Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. This is a super fast, easy, fun read. I think a second book did come out. However, I would consider this a standalone. This is a YA romance, and it is, if you're nerdy, you like D&D, board games, video games, anything like that, this is the book for you. It's super, super short. Basically, this young lady has to go stay with her father for the summer. He owns a game store where they host like Magic the Gathering and D&D and stuff like that in the back while he's selling up front. She is in school. Her main major is theater. And to make the best of her summer or whatever, she finds out that in the back they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. She doesn't know a ton about it, but she knows that the bardic character can sing and act and uses that to like further her like school. It is adorable. And these two, of course, it is a dating book. So she ends up finding a guy back there while they're role playing. No spice, no nothing like that. Super YA, but a very, very short, easy read. And I think this would be perfect for getting you out of a slump. The next book is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. For those of, I think most of my followers have read this, but for those of you who haven't, this is a paranormal romance, and this one does have spice. I put this one because, again, to me, this was a very fast read. It almost starts with her at the altar. She's a vampire being married off to a werewolf. It's a marriage out of convenience, or like their parents arranged it, an arranged marriage. It is super, super cute. It is spicy. There is language, so it is very adult. But if you like werewolves, vampires, anything paranormal, and a good like heavy romance, this is your book. There's not much else I can say without spoiling it. Uh, it's your typical paranormal romance. It is super fun though. Next, you've heard me talk about this one a lot. It is Forged by Magic by Jenna Wolfhart. This is a part of a series, so I would read them in order. There's not a ton of series on this, but this is one you could pick up, read, wait a long time, or however long, pick up the second book and read. It's not one that you need to read like back to back. It's not super intricate world building. Uh, Forged by Magic is a romantasy about an orc and an elf, and it is, the world building is good. It's awesome, but the main thing is it's a cozy vibe with spice. So it is adult, very adult. So if you like really spicy, but you like some of your characters to be like uh, monsters or D&D esque or anything like that, this would be a good book to get you out of a reading slump. If you've just been reading normal romance or maybe romantasy that doesn't have spice in it, this would definitely mix things up a bit for you. And it is a very non-high stakes. So if you read uh, something like super high stakes that had your heart on your edge or ends like super brutally or devastatingly, this would be a nice pick me up to like settle things down, get your vibe back to cozy, and at the same time have a little bit spice thrown in, not just like a YA cozy, something like that. I freaking love these books, and that's why I recommend them all the time. All right, next is more typical for getting out of a slump. This is Homecoming by Jake Weidmer. He is a local author here in Pittsburgh. This, know what you're getting into. So it is very fast read, super violent, and that is about it. So this young veteran gets back from war, gets out of the military, and finds out his hometown has been overrun with drugs and corrupt cops. And that's it. He goes to town. If you've ever seen Walking Tall with The Rock or any like movie or book where a veteran comes home, his hometown's been overrun with something, and he just starts killing everybody, that is this book. And I'll say Jake is, I love it. He is notorious for like from the first page to the last page, everyone's dying. And it is like, you don't have to worry about is he gonna like hesitate or anything like that. If it is straight action, guns, knives, tomahawks is what he's kind of known for. Uh, Dude, if you're into that or like anything like modern kicking indoors, very military-esque type books, this is a good book. You can find it on Amazon. Like I said, he is a very new author, indie author, and it is a fast read. You could probably knock this out in less than 48 hours, easy. Super good for getting out of a slump. Next is one of my favorites, Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. Again, I tried not to put too many books from a series, but this is so funny. It is again a romantasy. I don't think I'd call it a romantasy. A lot less romance, a little more fantasy comedy. Uh, it is about a villain who is ruthless and cutting people's heads off and doing what villains do best. And he needs an assistant because he's getting overwhelmed with all the work of terrorizing people. Young, bubbly, happy girl is down on her luck, needs a job, and she's like, oh, why not? I'll go work for a villain. And she is one of my favorite characters of all time. There is something about a nice, bubbly character who has inner dialogue of doing like torturous, villainous things. I absolutely loved it. This book, I picked it up, not really knowing what to expect, but was able to like knock this thing out in like 3 or 4 days. I freaking love this book. The humor in it is right up my alley. And again, I've said this before, there's something about like a sweet, innocent girl having violent thoughts that it's like one of my favorite tropes. So if you're into that, this is a quick, fun read. It is a trilogy, but it is so worth starting this trilogy, and I think it would help too. Next is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller, who is one of my favorite YA authors. This is a freaking fun book. It is like a Slytherin romance type book. A lot of romances. It's a lot of what I read. Sorry, guys. Or romantasy, rather. I'll just read the back. It gives a very good idea of like what it's about. My lovers all feel the need to give me nice things, very expensive things. It's been a fun game, learning their secrets, seducing them, and getting them to shower me with gifts. But to be honest, I'm bored with it. I have a new game in mind. I'm going to woo the king. I suspect it won't be longer than a month before he's helplessly in love with me. And when he proposes, I'll say yes for the first time. For once the marriage is official and consummated, I'll kill the Shadow King and take his kingdom for myself. Dude, it is so fun. And what caught me off guard about this, I don't want to give too many spoilers or anything, but she is ruthless. And she goes in here thinking like for example, she'll be around the king and do something like evil, and you would expect him to rebuke her or like get onto her or whatever, but he's always like gung-ho for it, so he's just as ruthless. It is awesome. Picture you're watching Harry Potter and two of the Slytherin people start dating, or someone evil's dating like Bellatrix from Harry Potter, and like they're just feeding off of each other's evilness. It was so fun. I absolutely love this, and it is YA. So those of you who don't like open door scenes or language or anything like that, this is a really good, short, easy read. All right, these last three books series are gonna may catch you off guard, but I'll explain why I'm doing them. So these are three series that really got me out of reading slumps, and uh, I think if you're in a slump and you have not read these, you need to. The first one, most of my followers have read. It is Acatar, Quarter of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Dude, I don't care what anyone says. These books got me out of a huge slump. I was in like a 2-year reading slump where I wasn't doing this channel, I wasn't reading, and what led to everything that I've been doing is my wife was like, hey, I've been wanting to read this series. I don't know much about it other than what like they say online. You read it and let me know your thoughts. From the first couple chapters, I was hooked. I had never read romantasy, much less I had never really read smut, spice, anything like that. So a lot of first in this series for me, and I absolutely loved it. It's what got me back into reading, wanting to start this channel. If you go back to my older videos, they're all Sarah J. Maas because I went down the whole rabbit hole. I freaking love these books. And like I said, most of you have read them. I'll say if you have and you're in a slump and you loved these books, redo them with the audiobooks. They're phenomenal. The books, physical read, is awesome. Yeah, this is a definite must read if you're just really don't know what to read. And like I said, changing your genres and what you read helps me. I went into this expecting to hate it because all I typically read before was fantasy and sci-fi. That's it. And this opened my eyes to like romance, romantasy, everything. And I fell in love with the series. And it really got me out of a huge slump. This next book is Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. This one, I know he has a lot of hate. I haven't looked into why, so I don't know all the lore behind it. If you do, I just know that this book is devastatingly good. It is dark, dark. So if you do not like things that are extremely violent, extremely sexual, the language is like really bad. So this is like up there, very, very adult. But it was like devastatingly good. Again, I think this was another reason it got me out of a huge slump. I didn't know what to read. I was kind of bummed out. And I had never read like horror books or dark anything. I had tried a dark romance, but this was like the first like really dark series I ever read. And I fell in love with it. I read this book really quick, dove into the second book, and now I'm waiting for the third book. So it is a trilogy. I think if the third book is out, it just came out, but I don't believe it is. So just know that going in. But if you've never read anything super dark and wanted to try one out, or you love very like dark vampire, I tell people, if you've ever seen Interview with a Vampire, combine that 50-50 with The Witcher 3, book, game, movie, whatever you want. The Witcher, an Interview with a Vampire, and this is what you have. Identical. I don't care what anyone says. It's him. The first chapter, so this isn't a huge spoiler, is him trapped in a prison. Ancient vampire sitting across from him and says, "Hey, your story, you were like the greatest ever at monster hunting and monster killing. I want to add your story to our collection. Vampires have kind of taken over the world." And he's like, basically, before you die, I want to know your story. And this is him telling it. And it is freaking good. And then last, I won't talk too long about it because you're probably all sick of hearing it. Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Again, this, I didn't know what to read. The books were huge. So it's not your typical, like, get you out of a slump. It's not short. It's not a standalone. But it is an easy read, and it is a super, super fast-paced read. I say that. It obviously is world building. So, like, the first, 100 pages is going to have your typical building the world, building the characters, the weaponry, the monsters, everything in it. After those first 100 pages, it picks up speed, and it only gains momentum. It is a snowball effect from this one to the third book. It is a huge series, so be warned if that's not what you're into. But I will say, if you're into Vikings, if you're into gritty, grimy, big, muscular women that are just like running crap, and I only say that because the men in this are just as big and grimy and like Viking-esque. I tell everyone what I absolutely loved about these books was how the women were created in it. They are not voluptuous. They are not relying on anything other than their grit to get everything. And they are brilliant women that are just like running crap. They're big powerhouses. And I absolutely loved it. I loved the world building, the character development. Everything I got in this series was just so perfect. It's my favorite series of all time right now. So if you dislike it, please don't put that you once started in the comments. It breaks my heart. But yeah, absolutely love this book and this series if you like Vikings. That is it. I think that any of these would be perfect to get you out of a reading slump. Like I said, for me, what typically works is short, fast reads, really violent, or like things that either like go 0 to 100 and don't stop and are fast paced, or the opposite, like very cozy, happy for after those violent books. I like to read those and it mixes it up. It keeps me not in a slump. And then the 3 series at the end, they just, if I'm in like anything over a 3 or 4 month slump, it typically a standalone's not going to do it. I need a phenomenal series to pull me out of that slump, something else to get sucked into. And those, when I end a big series and fall off, a standalone will bring me back out. And then once I've read short books and cozies, I just alternate, and it really helps me stay out of reading slumps. I haven't been in one in a long time. If you liked this advice, let me know down in the comments. And if you disagree with it, I would love to know what you do to get out of reading slumps, if anything. Because I know a lot of you, or a lot of people, use audiobooks. Some will mix it up, and some will just like quit reading for a long time until the urge comes back to read. So yeah, I would love to know what you're doing to stay engaged in reading and never falling into a slump. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I say it a lot, but again, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This community is amazing. I love getting to know all of you. I really can't say it enough. This channel has just been such a blessing, and it's been so fun. And I do love reading all your comments, replying to all of them, and getting to know as much as I can about all of you. Y'all have a great week.